Alright, so what is going on, guys? This is me back here. In this video, we will be talking about um HSR, okay, some issues about Danheng, Persmenser, and then some things you need to keep in mind about it. Okay, so for those who are still playing this game, okay, we all know Dan Heng PT. Okay, I'm just going to call it PT. Was released yesterday, and it was given for free. So after getting him for free, I immediately ran through a ton of tests. Okay, and here is a conclusion of um how he works, okay, and then what is upside, like his advantages, and what is his disadvantages. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how he actually works, okay. So his surrounding core mechanics is around his skill, like mainly his skill and then his talent. His ultimate is just another form of like DPS and enhancement, but most importantly it's from the talent and the skill. So let's just go through like what the skill can do. So it designates one ally character as the bond mate and provides all allies with a shield that can offset damage equal to 20% of Danheng PT attack plus 400 base for 3 turns. Right, when repeatedly triggered, it can stack up to 300% of the current shield effect, which means you can stack up to 60% plus 1200 base in total. Okay, this might actually sound a lot, but when I enter battle and I actually start like to check the stats, it's actually quite okay, I would say. Okay, and then his talent, when an ally character becomes the bond mate, DHPT summons Soul Dragon for them, which has an initial speed of 165. So why do they say an initial speed? Because this this thing is actually considered as a summon, which means if you have a Sunday, you can technically advance it together. Okay, otherwise it would just be 165 speed. When Soul Dragon takes action, it dispels one debuff from all allies, so something like Ling Xia's summon, and provides a shield that can offset damage equal to 10% of Dan Heng Permancer Terrace attack plus 200 for 3 turns, which is just half of the skill effect, right? So the rest is just technically the same. So when DHPT or the Bond Mate is knocked down, the Soul Dragon disappears. Alright, and about his ultimate, there's just actually one thing you need to really keep in mind about, which is after using your ulti, your Soul Dragon becomes enhanced for 2 turns. Okay, and what I mean by 2 turns is the turn will only trigger when Soul Dragon takes action. It launches up a follow-up attack, okay, which means you can trigger facial effect, and then dealing physical damage equal to all enemies equal to 80% of Dan Heng PT's attack, and an additional damage of the bomb mate's type to all enemies equals to 80% of the bomb mate's attack. So the higher, it's like 2 hybrid damage, one from Dan Heng and one from your bond mate. Yeah, so that's the only thing you probably need to care about. Alright. But what normally I just use it for shield purposes. I won't really care about the damage at all. Yeah, because survivability matters than that damage. Unless you're using final, then it's a different case. Because final's attack will just skyrocket after he ulti. So that is a completely different thing. Yeah. So otherwise, other normal teams you probably just like ulti and then just to get the shield back, because the shield effect provided is just exactly the same as the shield. The skill, sorry. Okay, his technique. After using technique, you inflict daze on your enemies for 10 seconds. And then these enemies will not actively attack allied targets, they'll just stand there and look at you and then getting stunned. Yeah, and when switching the active character, Bomb Mate transfers to the current active character, which is same as Seridra or Keridra. At the start of the next battle, automatically uses skill one time on the character with Bond Mate without consuming any skill points. So it's like an auto cast skill, same as how Seridra works exactly. Okay, next bonus abilities. So let's talk from the easiest one first. When using skill, increase attack of the target who has become bomb mate by an amount equal to 15% of Dan Heng Perencer the race attack. Right, next when combat starts, DHPT advances his own action by 40%, and when the bomb mate uses an attack, the DHPT regenerates 6 energy, and the Soul Dragon advances action by 15%. So this is purposely tailor-made for DPS that can move really really fast, okay, like Fei Xiao or Aglaya, or maybe counter DPS like Yun Li, okay, or maybe more other crazy options, okay. But overall, anything that advances the action slowly will do, yeah. Plus it's just like uses an attack. It's unlike Saridra, where Saridra one is um like this one, okay. Which one is it again? Yeah, like this one, like it says when the character in military merit uses basic attack or skill, like this thing is only limited to basic attack or skill. But in this case, okay, it's completely different, because as long as you uses an attack, regardless, okay, it means follow up can trigger, skill can trigger, ultimate can trigger, and then even your basic attack can trigger. Yeah, literally anything will trigger it. So this is a really really upside as a bonus ability, right? And then the last one, when Soul Dragon takes action, it additionally provides a shield that can offset damage equal to 5% of DHPT attack plus 100 to all to the allied target whose current shield effect is the lowest. When repeatedly it triggers stacking up to 300%, yeah, it's just the same. And when the enhanced Soul Dragon takes action, additionally deals one instance of additional damage of the bomb mates type to the one enemy target whose current HP is the highest, equal to 40% of the bomb mates attack. Yeah. So you can just assume like it's an adventuring thing. Okay, it just guarantees the allied character with the lowest attack, I mean shield, will just receive a small bit of shield. Yeah. And then just some small DPS that doesn't really matter. Okay. And as for small traces, you only get 5 speed, and then you get defense percent. I don't even know why there's defense percent. Yeah, that's attack percent shooter. So there's like um 22.5%, I believe. 22.5% of defense. And then the other ones is the attack, like X6, and then well, yeah, 28% of attack. So next for relics, okay. The only thing you want to use for your 4-piece will be the new set, which is self-enshrouded recluse. This is the only 4-piece that you will actually need. Okay. Otherwise, others I don't really recommend any of it, because it doesn't really work. The furthest you can go is 2+2 or 4-piece for now. Okay. I don't see any other potential sets for this, because he's a shooter. And plus, artifacts for shielders are just rare as hell. Yeah. Okay. Next, for inner ring, there is actually a lot of choices. Okay. You can use firstly Lushaka. Alright, why? Because it increases ER is one thing. And then you increase the first character in your lineup attack by 12%, which is actually a really good thing. And then the rope you want to go for ER, okay, otherwise everything just go for attack percent or speed. Yeah. And then the rope is either optional attack percent or ER, depends on the condition that you're fighting. Okay. Besides Lushaka, I also found one of them to be actually quite the okay, which is Space Ceiling Station. Okay, if you are stacking speed, your speed will definitely be 120 or above. Okay, so in this case, it gives you more extra attack percent, which is actually good for you because you get more shield or off attack percent. Yeah. Okay. After speaking about the relics, the traces, I'm not going to go into Eidolons, okay, because it's actually not too important. I mean, you can still pull for Eidolons, but I'm not really pulling it. I know what it does. Like the E1 is just increase all type resting by 18%, and then it recovers one skill point when you use your ultimate. And then E2, I don't really want to read that essay. I'm just so tired. Yeah. So then technically the furthest you need to go is like E1 or E2, and then the others just let it be. Okay. Next will be one of his biggest issues of all time. His Lycones. So the moment I got DHPT, I was so happy, I was so hyped, because I thought it's another good preservation unit. Okay. But the moment I look closer into it, I realize an even bigger problem. Like besides you pay for the what nameless honor, which is what we call BP, right? Unless you paid for the BP and you get the this Lycoan Journey Forever Peaceful, which is increases the shield effect by 12% and increases his damage dealt. Like besides this one, okay, I'm being dead ass. Besides that one, you can't find any good Lycoans on preservation for him. Why so? Because every single preservation Lycone we have seen so far is all defense percent scaling based. Alright? Like for example, Japat's Lycone, Moment of Victory. Okay, this thing increases defense percent. Trend of the Universal Market, this thing also increases defense. And then Day One of My New Life also increases defense. And then Texture of Memories, this one increases effect rest, but do you really need effect rest? And then if you get hit without a shield, it just grants you a shield. So this thing is technically just like not really helpful at all. I mean, it can be helpful at some moments, but majority of the moments it's still not useful. We are all fire. Does people still remember this Lycon exist? And then Landau's choice. This thing, why would you want to get hit more? Okay. By the way, I tried this on DHPT, and the chances of him getting hit is not increased at all. Yeah. This is just technically a scam. Yeah. The only thing you can benefit here is 24% damage reduction. Then Concert for 2 increases the wearer's defense by 20%, and for every on-field character that has a shield, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 5%. The only thing you can benefit here is the damage percent, but if you want to increase your shield amount, it doesn't work because it's defense again. Right? Next, Destiny's Thread for Woven. This thing increases effect rest and then increases your damage dealt by scaling defense. So you guys actually will slowly see the problem here, which is if you don't pull this man's signature Lycone, the alternate option, okay, the furthest alternate option I can tell you to go to is Day One of My New Life, or literally, if you are playing Acheron team, you can just try out the Universal Market, or otherwise like legitimate, just find any Lycone that have a high base attack. That's all I can say. Because all preservation attack like cones, all of their defense are high as hell. Yeah. Like for example, you can go for Finals Lycone, which have a 687 base attack. Then there is a really high attack thing. High attack percent. But mostly all of the destruction Lycones will be held at 582. Unless for some of the Hunt Lycone will be higher. Alright, or some of the humming icons like the Seridra one, which is 635. But it depends on availability, okay? The availability comes first if you have it on the signature character. So for example, I'm not going to use Finance and Seridra's Icon just because their base attack are higher. It's because I have the character that I will put it on them. I won't tear it off from them and then say like I just do it for my DHPT. I won't do that. Yeah, so this is how you make a balance trying to find for your DHPT to work. I tried out the Universal Market. It works for Acheron team, but not as good as it is because I feel like the passive taunt value of Danheng PT as a preservation unit is actually slightly lower than other preservation unit. Okay, so here just remember if you have either his signature icon or any 4-star icons you personally find useful, okay, then you can use it. Otherwise, just go for a signature, okay, if possible. I know Siren is at the back, you all are saving up and everything, but his signature icon is kind of like Caster's icon. There's no replacement until there's further gambling. It's technically you gambling for the future for like a 4-star replacement Lycone, or there's literally nothing. But I doubt they will actually make a 4-star like preservation Lycone for attack percent scaling preservation unit because it's just like not beneficial in theory. Okay. So therefore just pick something with high base attack. So in my case, I have kind of slow speed but I traded everything for attack percent, so it's like 4,000. In this case, if you are talking about 60%, right? We are going to talk about 600 times 4, then 6. We're getting about 3,200 plus another 1,200, so we're getting around 4,400 or something like that. Yeah, and then plus some of the shield effects. Yeah, it's going to be around 4K for this amount. Yeah, or you guys can do the maps yourself and then everything, blah 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 blah, and then done. Yeah. Okay. So after talking about how he works, okay. I know I've been yapping for 15 minutes, but here is the last part of what you want to do. Okay. Aventurine. When you compare these two together, okay, they have their ups and downs. So the upside of Aventurine is his shield base is actually considered quite high. Okay, 48% plus his defense. Why would I say it's quite high, even though the multiplier is actually not um how do I say, it's not as high as DHPT? Because one thing is the Lycone affection is really really high. So here I got S2 of Jeopard's Lycone, which is 28%, and if I get hit I get another 28%, so which is like 56% of increase. So here without any stacks I already have 5.5k defense, and then if I get hit it's going to be even higher. Yeah. Plus, if he gets hit, he will stack the blind points, and then once your blind point reaches 7, you'll start hitting your follow-up attack, and then everyone will just gain a small shield, which can slowly stack up to the same effect as your skill, so which is like 200%. Yeah, and therefore, if the enemy is like really aggressive and they take action multiple times in a row, then eventually is definitely better than Dahan PT. Okay, the only upside about Dahong PT is like the upside, not upset. The upside advantage of Dahong PT is he have a bit of small damage and his shield effect can stack up to 300%. And then some debuff cleanse. Okay, where is it? Yeah, this one. Like his dragon, when his dragon takes action, he can dispel one debuff from all allies. Unlike from Aventurine, because Aventurine is it gives everyone 50% of your um effect rest. So when Aventurine is on the team and having everyone is having the 45 wager, everyone effect rest just increased by 50%. You still need to gamble for the other 50% if your effect rest is not that high. Which is you don't really do it when you are playing on the DPS, because on DPS you just probably just want double crit and speed and everything. But in this case, DHPT is considered good because it dispels one debuff instead of you trying to gamble for effect rest. Alright, but another problem that came in is if you want to maximize his potential, besides having the Lycone, you also need Sunday. Because I forgot to mention that if you designate one ally as bomb mate, your ally will be considered as having a summon. So this maximizes Sunday skill potential so far, because every time when you use Sunday on a character team, where is it? Okay, yeah, we're gonna take a look at Sunday. Okay, traces. So his skill enables one designated ally and their summon to immediately take action and increases their damage dealt by 15%. If the target has a summon, then further increase the damage to 25 by additional 25%, lasting for 2 turns. After using skill on the B5, the other doesn't really matter. Okay, so if normally for the past few versions, if you see Sunday in any team without a summon, alright, like no Mammoth Sprite, no Topaz, Jingyuan type of summon, okay, then you only get 15% so far. You only get the 15%. But today, if you have a summon, alright, you had DHPT in your team, and assigned it to the bomb mate, which is your DPS, right? Like for example, Acheron. So I tested it works, okay, for to trigger the other 25%. So this means it unlocks Sunday's biggest potential damage boost. Yeah, previously like you can't really maximize this usage. Until now, yeah, you can finally maximize it by giving 80% at level 10. So at level 1 it's just like 40%. Yeah. Which is actually considered a lot. at level 10, imagine like 30% damage boost, you just suddenly got 80%. Yeah, that's just not half, bro. That's just more than half of the damage boost. So yeah, there is like one of the few conditions, like if you want to maximize potential for Dungeon PT, you need like Sunday plus him and then his own signature icon. Because his own signature icon, let me show you all like what his own signature icon actually does. Okay, here. First increases the wearer's attack by 64%. Okay. At max level it gives 582 attack, so which is same as a Hans general icon attack amount. And then at S1 it gives 64% of wearer's attack. When the wearer uses ultimate, restore HP equal to 10% of wearer's attack for all allies. And additional restore HP equal to 10% of wearer's attack for the character with the lowest current HP. Alright, and here comes the broken part, in my opinion. Grants redoubt to all allies for 3 turns. Targets with redoubt deal 24% increased damage. Increased damage, by the way. It's not increase, like it's not attack increase or anything. It's literally damage increase, which further increases by 12% if the targets have summoned. So it's just a straight up 36%. Yeah, and all you need to do is just for him to cast his ultimate. Yeah, and it lasts for 3 turns. So like, plus it gives healing. So if your shield is like, it can't stack fast enough like adventuring, because we all know adventuring shield is like a fortress. But for Danheng PT, it might not be a fortress, but the shield, like what is inside the shield can regenerate itself, which is like the HP. Like if you have this Lycon, you won't have to worry about survivability like adventuring. Yeah, if you want to say adventuring is like a completely like unbreakable shield, like this one is breakable, but if you break it, you can, like, you still have a backup heal for your original HP, so you won't like be in danger. Plus this thing, remember I mentioned earlier, if you use your skill on the bomb mate with the bonus ability, it increases the bomb mate's attack by 15% of his attack. So if this means like the higher your Dungeon PT attack, the higher your bomb mate output is, like buff, not output. Yeah. So that's all about this video. Okay. Um, some good and bad things about him. Okay, the good thing is he is a free unit for preservation, which means everyone can get it. The bad thing is you need his Lycon to work well. Yeah, so probably this time people are going to be like, no, you can use this Lycon, it also works well. Like, I fucking care, bro. Like just put a Lycon or else you're fucked. That's what I will say for now. Okay, unless you are going to pull for Hyacinth next patch also, but I doubt people will actually have enough funds to do it. Consider how many banners is going to rerun next patch. Okay, let like literally let me tell you who is going to rerun next patch. There's Casteris is one thing, Hyacinth is one thing, and then the most important among all, Siren is also going to rerun next patch. So for those who are actually free to play, you tell me that you are going to, like, if you are going for Hyacinth, I understand, but if you are going to like for literally Siren, because Siren for now, all I can say is she is not cheap to play. All right, so far she needs a 1+1 to play, and I'm not kidding, because the way she stacks her ulti is just way too long. All right, by the moment you stack your ulti, your round had probably ended. And then for Casteris, I don't even know why would people still want that character, okay, when you have literally other option DPSs. Like like everything is high, like everything have a high chance to literally fall apart when version 4 comes out. Remember that time in version 2, everyone is still happy in the meta of Super Break. Everyone is just so happy about Super Break, like Firefly, Boothill, Rappa. Like this trio can literally determine every single game mode possible out there. like Firefly for MOC or Put Heal for MOC, and then Upwalk both can also works, and then Rappa for pure fiction. That time it dominated like the whole, almost the whole game for Super Break, until 3.0 suddenly boom, the Herta, Agalaya, and then after that followed by 3B, My Day, and then suddenly Caceres, and then suddenly Finon. Yeah, and then suddenly the game just like changes every single patch, the power level and everything. So in this current economy, what we can do is try to avoid reruns, unless the rerun you need is so broken and stupid that even you get it, you still have a really high value for it. Like for example, fucking Hyacinth. Okay, dude is a healer, but the output is on the same level on par with DPSs. Like March 7, Evernight, okay? And then Casteris, like half of Casteris DPS at E0S1, okay? Yeah, which is like, I actually don't damn understand like how, as a remembrance unit that is supposed to do healing, but you do DPS that is in on par level with one sub DPS and one main DPS. Like over, I feel like Remembrance Path character is just a joke. Like they can just do anything to the character of Remembrance Path. Like they don't really have to specify any specialties on the character. They can just do anyone they want to do it. Yeah, I know some people are going to be like, no, this is just according to the law, but I don't care, bro. Why I don't fucking care? Because the moment you specify paths on this shit, okay, you are supposed to follow how it works. So Remembrance here, it clearly says possesses the ability to summon a Memo Sprite with special abilities to fight alongside the team in battle. Okay, special abilities like what? I can't bang the enemies for like 1 million HP? Bro, you're fucking insane. You know what does that mean? If you have a character that can heal, which is literally an abundance unit, okay, and you have a character that can just like improve your base HP, which is like similar to a preservation ability because it possesses defensive abilities. So increasing HP is also a kind of defensive abilities. Okay, so that's preservation, and then you heal, that's abundance, and then what's next? You provide buffs. Okay, HP buffs is also including harmony. Okay, and what else? Slight DPS. Slight DPS is like nothing really here, but it's like at certain condition, her DPS can spike up to really. It's like burning HP and then like doing DPS. If you have the Lycone, if you have the Lycone, it doesn't really matter. But if you have the Lycone, it's going to be like 4 paths in one fucking character. But in this case, we only have 3 characters. Yeah. So what does this mean? Your one fucking Remembrance character, Hyacinth, can do literally what 3 other paths people can do. Do you see how stupid the game had actually become? There's no brain anymore, bro. Just like all you need is HP scaling. You don't need anything else. Dead ass. Like what else do you need, bro? Like if you have the full premium team, okay, let me tell you. Let me show you something. Okay? If you are going for Remembrance, okay, Casteris, HP scaling, Hyacinth, HP scaling, Evernight, HP scaling, okay, and then you might want support. 3B, also HP scaling. So what's the deal? Like you already like the game is already so freaking unbalanced, and then imagine Siren that's coming out later, also Remembrance, also HP scaler, and then like provides allies the capability to do true damage, and then provides buff for Chrysos Hires. So Casteris Hyacinth Evernight again is going to receive buffs. So I was wondering, like, are you really going to push the current character to another upper limit, or are you just going to do the last struggle to let them fly for even a while more before they fall on version 4? So this is how you sell FOMO, and this is what Hoyoverse have been doing for many versions. Okay, remember the initial release of Acheron and Black Swan? Everyone is going to be like, oh, Dot is alive again. Whoa, Acheron 3/ can end everything. Yeah, and then guess what? Right after that, something called Firefly came out, and then everyone is like, "Whoa, super break!" And then after that, he came out, everyone is like, "Whoa, the strongest hunt character!" And then right after that, Facial came out, and then Facial came out at a really awkward moment, so we will not talk about that. And then suddenly, after that is Rappa. Okay, Rappa came out, and then everyone is like, "Whoa, erudition, super break!" But then her popularity is not as high, and then suddenly the Herta came out. And then everyone was like, "Whoa, the Herta is meta!" And then after like 2 or 3 versions, um, Chibi came out. Chibi came out together with My Day, and then everyone ignored My Day and be like, "Chibi is the best support!" Yeah, and then after Chibi, Castoris came out. And then where's Castoris? Okay, Castoris came out, and then what happened? Guess what? The Herta was power crap again. And then the Herta was slowly forgotten. And then suddenly Anaxa came out also. And then Anaxa came out, everyone is like, "Whoa, Anaxa is going to be a support for Herta, a sub DPS for the Herta team." And then guess what? Suddenly Anaxa shines, and then the Herta falls. Because what the Herta can do is only left in Pure Fiction now. Otherwise, other game modes, Anaxa plus hyper carry like Sunday, Sparkle, or Robin, you can just like end the end game content. You don't even need the Herta, bro. You don't even need another Erudition in the team. All you need is Anaxa alone. That is how unbalanced the thing actually is. Yeah. And then what else? After Anaxa, who is it? I remember Hyacinth. Yeah, and then Hyacinth came in, and then guess what? Castoris' first fucking DLC. Castoris' very first fucking DLC. And then guess what? It's not just Castoris' DLC. This woman, this girl, single-handedly destroyed the whole fucking meta by being literally a universal unit. You can put her in any team and the team won't die. I'm legit, they won't die. Hear me clearly. They won't die because why the ultimate of this woman here increases your whole team's HP by 50% at level 10. Yeah, I mean and now it's just like it's not showing the max potential, it's just 15%. But at max level, this shit provides like what 50% of your HP increase. Bro, do you wanna know how high is 50%? Yeah, actually I'm not really sure if it's 50% or 30%. It's 30. I remember it's 30 or 50. And then the E1 increases furthermore. Okay, yeah, this one is 30. Okay, sorry, my bad. This one is 30. Okay, but if you have the E1, you want to know how stupid the E1 is? Yeah, it increases additionally by another 50%. So in this case, 30% is already high enough. Okay, you want to put another 50%. You're going to get 80%. Like, brother, what are you creating? A HP battleship? Or are you creating a remembrance battleship? Or you are just creating like literal Honkai? Like, imagine you have E1 Hyacinth, you can just put in any team and the team won't die. Because their base HP is already this high. You don't even need anything else, bro. Imagine like last time we are still struggling to use Abundance or Shield. And then now, they are just like, let me just put a E1 Hyacinth inside. And then your whole team won't die. That is how unbalanced the game actually is. The ones who actually pay for the game will definitely have better experiences. But for those who didn't pay and miss the character like me, okay, I don't really play Castoris either, but I have other solutions, but it comes at greater costs. But if you want to save costs, definitely you'll pull Castoris, okay, and then you'll suddenly pull Hyacinth, and then now maybe you will pull Evernight or you will not, and then you are going to pull Siren, and then your team is complete. But what happens if at version 4, the game decides to change meta, and then everything about Amphoris is just going to fall apart? Did anyone actually think about this? Or they are just like too busy to get about all of this? Yeah, last time, back in my days, how many characters are the meta? Yeah, but nowadays I don't think so, bro. Nowadays, fucking remembrance character is all you need. One Hyacinth is all you need for literally any of your teams. One Hyacinth and one 3B is all you need. Like you don't really need anything else anymore, bro. You just need one 3B and then one Hyacinth. or maybe some people even Sunday. Yeah, that's all you need, bro. That's how brain dead the game has become be and how unbalanced it has to be. Yeah, true. Okay, so that's all for the video, guys. Okay, a lot of yapping, a lot of complaining in this video. Okay, yeah, went a bit off topic. True. Okay, thank you very much for watching. It's a long video, 35 minutes. Okay, but I hope what we spoke in the first half of the video can actually help. Okay, yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.